wouldn't probably show that anyways. So anyways, going to 12 o'clock. Right. So now here you are going to create a PSP with that previous candle closer, by the way. Right. So here you have a bullish candle. Here you have a bearish candle. So when this has to sweep to this high here, again, you're getting that like that resweep, right? So this overall SMT is holding, but then you're creating more SMTs, like more close range SMTs. Like one of these close range SMT is actually going to reverse price. So remember I said like it's going to look some shit like this. Oops. Yeah, I'll just do it like this. Where it just keeps resweeping while this overall SMT is holding. One of these SMTs here is actually going to hold. And typically it's waiting for time and you want to strength switch. Like that's what you're waiting for basically, right? That's kind of what you're getting here. You see what I mean? Like here's the overall SMT. What are we doing? Sweep, sweep, sweep. Like none of them are actually reversing, but you're just waiting for like timing. You're trying to time it, right? With filters. So here, do you have a reversal? No, right? Wait, no, you don't. No strength switch, right? So yeah, you have to wait for obviously a strength switch, and you get that right here. That the 1 o'clock candle does reverse price, right? And this is great because the next candle is 2 o'clock. So when you look at this 4-hour candle, the wick is quite large, I would say, right? So now you have the 4-hour now aligned with the 6-hour, right? So now you have the 6-hour and the 4-hour aligned for expansion. So this is great. This is exactly what you want. So this is great, right? And when you actually look within this wick, so this is not a 4-hour PSP, by the way. Not a 4-hour PSP. They're both bullish, as you can see, all three assets. But when you actually look inside this wick on this 4-hour candle, it is not a C2 candle. This is why we don't actually care about, we don't necessarily care about closures on a higher time frame to mechanically define a reversal, right? We don't care about that. That's maybe like T-trade stuff, but we don't care about that because when we actually look within this wick, guys, within this 4-hour candle, there's actually reversal, right? It just so happened to occur at the last hour of that previous 4 hours range. So there's not enough time to actually create and close inside of this range. That's the only thing that happens, by the way. Like that's the reason why this happens. That reversal gets created at the end of a 4-hour candles range or at the end of a higher time candles range. We just have enough time to actually, close inside of the candles range, right? Doesn't mean it didn't reverse. So the fact that we have this inside of it, this is just regular GXT, by the way, right? Where we open up a new 4-hour candle within an aligned 30-minute or 1-hour range, or not range, what the hell, swing formation, right? Candle 3 or 4, right? We're good to go, right? We don't have to actually sweep out this previous 4-hour high. We already know it's a reversal candle, despite it not closing inside of the previous candle's range. But what makes this important here is this C2 is that second stage cracking correlation that we need, right? And it's in the form of a strength switch, which is what we need, right? So here, bullish, bearish, right? And we know this is highly likely to work out because this asset over here, dude, it didn't even reach into this low yet. You see how it created these equal lows? So this is highly likely to work out in my eyes, right? You have markets that are extremely decoupled, right? In the form of advanced premium discount, you need strength switching, right? The strength switch is so they can gravitate towards each other to become more correlated, right? Because they're obviously not correlated. So here's your second stage SMT. It's also confirming basically this 2-stage PSP that we're seeing right here. So we know this is a PSP. We didn't have a reversal within the previous candle's range, right? So we have to sweep with the high. We have to create a 2-stage PSP, just like we talked about in the daily, because within the previous candle's range, like I said, there's no reversal. So we must create a reversal. And here is the reversal, right? When I look inside this candle, what we have within that previous hourly range, if I mark it out for you, from here to right here, right? We can clearly see a V-shaped signature. So this is the reversal signature, by the way, regardless of the CSD. I don't care about that, honestly. V-shape creating a gap, and it's holding the gap, right? We've already reversed and continued, right? Because the gap held and created that propulsion block. So when we think about, refining our key levels, what do? Mark out the wick. We look for a refined key level within the lower half of that range. That is this propulsion block. So this is where you just mark execute. Put your stop loss at the body because it's majority body, just this range here. So you don't have to put it up here necessarily. So I do it like this, right? And I'm assuming that we will just go like this, right? And we don't have to sweep this high because this is in EQ, right? Of this whole little range right here. It's an EQ, which we don't want to see price return there. It shouldn't be returning there, right? So we're basically trading continuation, by the way. You don't ever need to see, like in this specific case scenario, where you see a C2, it's CSGs and prints a propulsion block. In my opinion, you never need to wait for intercandle CST because you're not going to get it probably. It's just going to go, right? Like you'd have to do like something like this. Like that's how you'd have to take it. But it's already showing like continuation. You know what I'm saying? Because we're holding gap and we're CSTing again. Anyways, this is where I take my trade. So I actually recorded this for you guys. But when I got home, I took my laptop with me. I was going like from Thursday to Sunday night, like I said. When I got back, I forgot to plug in my mic. So like for 10 minutes, there's no audio. Like literally for 10 minutes. Like still no audio for 11 minutes. Here's 14 minutes. You can hear some audio finally. So I took this on all my accounts, but obviously I can't just be taking big trades on all accounts because there's consistency rules in some accounts, blah, blah, blah. So I recorded this trade on my accounts that have consistency, right? Because I'm not going to be sitting in a recording until it hits my overall draw liquidity. My overall draw liquidity, by the way, was down here. Right? This is my overall draw liquidity. So that would have taken forever. So obviously I'm just going to record on my accounts that have consistency, right? But yeah, so I only made money on these accounts because obviously we know that it came back here and took me break even, which I didn't post any of my trades today because I don't know, they're just not that. They're cool, like they're really good, but they're just kind of like scalps almost. Like this is 4R, which is great, right? So as you can see, it's like somewhere around here. As you can see, my stop loss is at the body there. TP is just below this low. Like I said, that's just straight up for consistency. So you can see that I got out here. I did not partial on my other accounts, right? So it's really annoying. So I took a break even on those. But as you can see, I was like doing an example here, like explaining something, and then I hit my TP. Like there you go, right? There you go, off to the left, you can see. So yeah, that was my trade in London session, right? Using a bit of advanced premium discount, and literally like everything is mechanical, dude. Like if you don't think everything is mechanical, you probably just haven't learned it yet from me. But everything I do, guys, is literally mechanical. It's fucking insane. Like everything has a specific rule and all that. Like for every scenario you can probably think of. But I probably just haven't taught it yet to you guys. Because you guys are probably not in the lens or something like that. So you guys don't know yet. But a lot of this little shit, it will be in this series right here. And like I said, I really need to put out this video, dude. I need to stop being a lazy ass motherfucker and get that shit done. But yeah, I don't know why I came back up here. Really stupid. Because YM didn't even take this out, bro. YM literally just left equal lows. And I think I saw some people saying like they didn't get in because YM didn't create a two-stage like PSP. That's irrelevant, guys. You don't need to, unless you're trying to trade YM. If you're trying to trade YM, then yes, you do need a reversal signature, right? We don't care about that. If you're trading NQ, right, you wouldn't need that. Because what can this asset do? What could it do? It could just consolidate. Because this asset is way up here, dude. This asset on NQ is way up here. This asset's down here. This asset can consolidate while this asset expands. We only care about the strongest asset, printing reversal signature, dude. That's it. Because what you do not see is a reversal signature on the opposing side. If there was a reversal signature down here, okay, then it would make sense, dude. where like, okay, you want to make sure all assets may be going lower, but dude, this shit didn't even hit anything, bro. This left equal lows. So like, why do you even, you already know that highly likely this is the fucking reversal, dude. Like right here. Like, I don't care about this asset because I'm not trading it. Like I said, it can just do whatever the fuck it wants. Like it could have created 2-stage PSPs, and I was even going over that in my recap or trade thing here. Execution. I was talking about like how it might just have to wait, like in queue. It doesn't. We don't have to get in, and wait for this to sweep this out, but it might actually start to really expand if YM does take this out, but it never did it, right? Because it doesn't necessarily have to. The only thing that matters is in queue expanding, right? And actually showing signs of reversal. Like you really want to see the strength switch, but yeah, like dude, this shit right here, bro, is highly likely retracement.